Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me for this week's Pick a Card Weekly Tarot reading. Okay, the new year has begun. I've just done the 2025 horoscopes on my website AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and also looked at all the retrograding planets for 2025. It's a bit surprising because we actually have 12 retrograding phases or periods this year, which is not usual. Normally there's like 7 or 8 or 9. Mercury usually goes 3 or 4 times. It's 3 times this year, but 12 is a lot to deal with. And we also have Jupiter and Uranus going twice because they started the end of 2024 and they've gone into this year 2025, and then they go again this year. So it's going to be very interesting. We have the social and the transpersonal planets in fire and air signs, which is giving us a lot of motivation to move ahead, a lot of inspiration to do various things. And then we have these retrograding planets that are not really giving us the energy to accomplish in the outside world. So it could be quite a volatile and frustrating year, but we already know that, don't we? But looking at the astrology, it really does look like that. Okay, but now we're going to do pick a card for this week. So let's go to the board now, and I'll pick the cards, draw the cards, so there's 5 cards. Pick a number now between 1 and 5. And I'll draw a card, see what comes out. We're doing number 1. Now, I'm seeing a pile of river stones here. Not sure what it means, but they're all piled up high. It's almost like, I don't know if you've been to, say, Nepal trekking. I have. And some of those Asian countries, you see these piles of river stones piled up. And it's almost like homage or acknowledgement of spirit, okay? Also, if you think about river stones, it's like the water has gone past and knocked off all the rough edges. We're a bit like that. We're a bit like a stone. As spirit and life and experience goes past us, the rough edges get knocked off often. The card that comes up for number 1 is Temperance. It's all about balance, baby. And it's important, especially given everything I've just said about 2025. It's really important to keep your equilibrium and keep everything in balance, because there's going to be plenty of times where you're going to be tested and you could feel quite upset or quite angry. But the important thing is to stay present with what's going on in the moment and not allow those emotions to take over you. You are an infinite, immortal being, and even though we do have those emotions, that's not who we are, okay? So don't lose sight of that. Even if you're being pushed to, get upset or get angry about something, there's very good reasons, I'm sure, to get upset and angry about lots of things this year. Try and maintain balance emotionally, then you can take action, okay? So it's a major arcana card. If you can stay in control of your emotions, and that means letting them come out at safe, appropriate times, not at inappropriate times, like when you're at work, for example. Okay, but if you can do that, then you're likely to be more in control of yourself and your life. Number two, what do I see for you? Oh, okay, champagne bottle and the cork popping off the champagne bottle. This indicates some sort of celebration around you coming up, and it's almost like, even though we've just gone into 2025, it's not your new year as such. Your new year will begin on your birthday, so to speak. Maybe that's what the celebrations are. I don't know, but I just know that there's some good times around the corner, put it that way. The card that comes up for you is the Ace of Wands, new beginnings, feeling inspired, feeling motivated to create, and to channel the fiery spirit that is, you know, coming down to earth, really. Spirit is handing you this inspiration. There's a lot of growth involved, but you need to take action as well, okay? It's not just about feeling the feelings, you know, the nice positive sense of inspiration, oh, I could do that, I could do that. It's about actually grounding it in physical reality. And yes, there will be some challenges, but, you know, if you're determined, you can get much further along than if you're not determined, that's for sure. Number three, all right, what do I see for you? Oh, wow, these get more and more weird. Elk, with the elk horns, the velvet on the elk horns. I think that's something, I don't know a lot about elk. We don't have them in Australia, I'm pretty sure. We do have some introduced deer, and there's probably a few million of those now. But elk, no, we don't have. And I think it's something, the velvet is something to do with hormonal changes about breeding. But it's also about being natural, being authentic, and just keep breeding in mind. If you want to breed, the time might be coming up. If you don't want to breed, then I would indeed be very careful, because there could be some creative fertile energy here for number three. Wow. The Five of Swords. Okay, so with that creativity, just be careful you don't become a slave, you don't become submissive to it. I've had some really deep spiritual experiences over the decades about being creative and also musical, in my case singing. And I've had dreams every 5 or 10 years about coming to terms with the singing ability. I could do it and be successful at it. However, it would almost be like selling my soul in order to achieve that, and I'm not going to do it. So just be aware, and I see it now in a lot of singers, artists. You know, they become really, really good, but I can see what the cost has been. So do not submit to, you know, just in order to get something. Do not submit to the lower forces that may want to dominate. The other question you might ask yourself is, are you doing this to yourself? Okay, are you driving yourself so hard that you're not enjoying life? Okay, I've been working really hard for about 6 weeks now, and it's feeling like that to me. 3 is my number. So it's time to cut it off. You can see the scissors here, and I'm just about at the end of it. I've only got maybe another 5 or 6 articles to write, and then I can relax. I've actually already started to relax on the weekend. I had 2 days off where I didn't do much work at all, but I've been working every day, probably 12 hours a day since the end of November. So yeah, don't let this thing drive you, okay? Number 4, what do I see? What is that? Oh, okay. Stones, boulders, a little cave, and there is an entrance to the cave even if you can't see it very well. Okay, this is about going down into your body. Maybe do some sort of meditation. There's different meditations, but there's one with the body parts where you focus on different parts of your body and you tense the muscle and then let it go. And this is saying that it's in your body. The earth is your body, and go into that cave and that place of solitude and rest. You might need to rest. Number 4 as well. Okay, how many cards have we got? We've got 2, so I'll read them. Okay, the 5 of Cups can indicate some disappointment, sadness, despondency. You'll see these 2 cups are separate from the 3 cups over here. So there's some sort of distance or separation. It could be involving a love relationship or maybe even a friendship. But it could also be temporary. It doesn't mean that it's permanent, okay? But just bear that in mind. Now, the second one is 7 of Cups. It's reaching out for spiritual answers and spiritual attainment, asking Spirit to help you in various areas of your life, perhaps including relationships, okay, if there's sadness because of relationships not working out. Sometimes I also think this card is about boundaries, setting appropriate boundaries so you don't get inundated by people that, you know, take up your time and energy. That's a very real thing. Vampires, you know, we sort of joke or watch them on YouTube or on TV, whatever. But they're bloodsuckers sucking your energy, and then you feel suddenly tired. So just how you'll know is when you're dealing with someone and you walk away and you just feel exhausted. That's a real sign that that person's not for you. Okay, number 5 is alive. What do I see? I'm looking at a window in spirit here. I'm looking at the top of the window. It's like it's been stuck for a long time. It's got some sort of stupid lock bracket thing for opening the window, but it's been stuck. But this vision indicates a window of opportunity, and it's about to unstick. You'll be able to open that window and take advantage of an opportunity. But the thing about windows of opportunity is that they're only available for a limited time, so it's very time sensitive to take this opportunity. The card that comes up for you is the Death card. Okay, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in your book of life. No, it does not mean that anybody is about to pass away. It doesn't mean that. And I know it's scary. I've just been dealing with some things about death myself, and it can be scary when you get this card, but it is honestly about new beginnings. You need to make space for those new beginnings. Maybe it's time to say goodbye to some people or some habits that might be taking up your time. Okay, so there we go. We've got 2 major arcana, which is more or less usual. Wands, swords, cups, yeah, okay. So that's not a bad spread in terms of, you know, balance. And 2 major arcana is completely normal and usual. Okay, so that's it, one and all. Thank you so much for watching. And go to the website for 2025 horoscopes. I will put the link in at the top of this post as well. Okay, have a great day, week, and I'll see you again next week. Okay, bye for now. Thanks. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.